Well, hundreds of people are marching from Grange Park to Queen's Park right now to call on the provincial government to address mercury poisoning that's impacting the Grassy Narrows First Nation. Let's go live to CP24's Andrew Brennan, who's covering this story. Andrew.
Yeah, Jamie, this has been a problem that goes back 50 years. It's something that has quite literally tainted the community, both in terms of how their drinking water is able to be accessed, both in terms of the health effects that they've had from ongoing, and again, going back 50 years, the start of mercury poisoning and accumulation in the system. There is studies that show that 90% of those that live in Grassy Narrows have forms of mercury poisoning, have symptoms of, which, by the way, for people at home include tremors, insomnia, memory loss, headaches, cognitive and motor dysfunction, and neuromuscular effects. I spoke with one woman a few minutes ago, one of the lead organizers of the caravan that left Grassy, that went to Dryden, which is where one of the plants nearby. It's one of the different organizations or players in this fight is based out of. And also, after that, to Thunder Bay. She came down to Toronto now, and Chrissy was telling me that she's angry. She's in her 40s. There's a life expectancy for many in her community of 50 to 60 years. She says that she started fighting when she was a young person so that her kids and her grandchildren would not have to deal with what was going on right now. And the same fight is happening now. We also spoke earlier with Chief from the community, Rudy Turtle, and this is what he told us.
Our health is being affected, and the health of our children and the generation, the next generation, it affects their health, and this has been going on for a long time. So that's why we want it addressed properly. That's why we want the river to be cleaned up so that our people don't have to struggle with these health problems anymore. And we want the river cleaned up, and we want, everybody to be compensated properly so that they can go back to living normal lives.
Now, there was a lawsuit filed in June against both the federal and provincial governments, saying that the argument was that the governments are not adhering to their promises under Treaty 3, that they have an obligation to the community to ensure that they have safe drinking water. By the way, they had a boil advisory in Grassy Narrows since they were moved in 1958 until the 2000s is when they got drinking water, and then there were boil water advisories after that. So we have reached out to the government for a comment at this time. We have yet to hear back. We've also reached out to the Dryden Mill parent company for comment about the asking for compensation coming from people in Grassy Narrows that have now made their voices heard here in Toronto, Jamie. The march is just beginning. It's expected to stop a few places along the way before ending at Queen's Park. So in front of the legislature, the people here can say their piece and hope for a better future. I'll send it back to you.
We appreciate that report. Thank you.